Can I ask you guys if this sounds a little bit odd to you?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Davante Adams, fantastic player, fantastic
singer for
receiver.
Jodeci.
No. Davante Adams, Las Vegas Raider.
Okay. Raider.
All right.
Okay.
Left Green Bay.
Oh, that Davante.
Our friends listening in Wisconsin, big fans of Davante Adams, and then he decided, I want to go play with Derek Carr in Las Vegas, and Derek Carr has left. And so the discussion was, what is his career going to be since he's not playing with Aaron Rodgers anymore? And so Davante Adams spoke with The Ringer, and he said the following about being named All-Pro last year and why that was so important to him. Quote, "It proved that I am me." He went on to say, "A quarterback doesn't make me, I make me, and I can do it consistently at this level. That's why last season meant a lot. Even if I went and played like dog bleep next year, they can't say it because now I've already proved throughout the course of the season, played every game, and put together a resume that says I do not need a quarterback. You can erase all the numbers. You can just write in he didn't need Aaron Rodgers."
Oh, wow.
So feels like that's kind of out of the blue for some reason that he decided he wanted to make that clear that he doesn't need Aaron Rodgers now that he's a Las Vegas Raider and he's got Jimmy G throwing passes to him.
I mean, first off, what even brought this up? I don't remember anyone overly focused on, especially when Davante Adams was with Aaron Rodgers and then left. I don't remember or recall anyone being like, hey, man, Davante Adams going to the Raiders, he can't do this. He's not a Hall of Fame. I mean, he's always been an extremely capable, talented wide receiver. But this is like the chicken and the egg, however, instead of there being any sort of conundrum, you look at this and go, oh, yeah, dude, you need a quarterback. Like, you went from a first-ballot Hall of Famer to a guy in Derek Carr who, has thrown for over 4,000 yards in what would have been a fifth consecutive season had he not been benched. He was on pace to do so. You now get a quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo who's never in his career thrown for over 4,000 yards and has a hard time staying healthy. So, yeah, in one way, you don't need these guys to be capable of being a Hall of Fame receiver, and he's been that with what he's put together so far. But there's also the guy who's throwing you the football, and you surely do need someone who's capable of getting you the football. I mean, if you really want to, dive down into the stats, last year's stats were phenomenal. He was able to equate almost to the yards production he had in his final year in Green Bay. He had more touchdowns receptions than he had that final year. But you know what? One thing he didn't have as much of? Receptions. And so he was getting a little more bang for his buck, if you will. But the difference is also the catch percentage. He was targeted a lot more with Las Vegas than he was with Green Bay in his final year. And the difference is he caught a lot more of those passes. So he caught 23 more passes in his final year in Green Bay than he did in his first year with the Raiders. And he was thrown to 11 more times. So the problem with that is you basically be saying, like, there's maybe a little lack of chemistry, or it's just going to be harder for him to get the amount of receptions he wants because he's going to be a focal point, and whoever's at quarterback's going to have a harder time getting the football. So it's convenient to say that now. And look, he's right. He didn't need Aaron Rodgers to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. If he had Derek Carr for the next 4 years, I'm sure he would have put up the same exact stats because Derek Carr is very capable of getting the football. And Jimmy Garoppolo, when healthy, is, but, will he be healthy? And how is this transition going to be to Las Vegas? Will he be able to get the production that he wants? Jimmy G's largely, at least during his time in San Francisco, always had the rushing attack in San Fran. Will they have that in Las Vegas the same? It's just a lot of questions about what it looks like moving forward. But, I mean, it's just odd that he would pick a time to say this now. Is he frustrated? Is he, upset the fact that maybe there was a chance Rodgers, was going to go to Las Vegas and then it ended up being the Jets that he decided to go to? It seems like Rodgers caught a stray for no reason.
Yeah, I'm going to tell y'all what it is.
A-Rod fatigue?
I'm going to give y'all my hunch. I need some music here, Berto.
You want some conspiracy
Give me a
music?
little bit of conspiracy theory music here. All right,
here we go. Dogs out? What are you thinking?
Oh, come on.
What?
No.
Jeez.
What?
No, you freaking a-hole. You not who let the dogs out.
Well, it's Berto doing it. I thought Berto.
But this is perfect that you would. It's perfect that you would do that because this is the very reason that Davante Adams came out and had something to say. Because his homies had something to say.
Who's his homies?
It's not whoever his homies are. Like how my homie
the
just
guys around him.
Like just how my homie just hit me with the Where the Dogs At music is, right? And I was like, you know what, a-hole? Like, okay, whatever.
We were cutting
right?
it up in the barbershop. That's what you're saying.
That's what happened. That's what happened. Ultra competitive dudes are ultra competitive about everything. Thumb wrestling. How many girls you can talk to, and unless you're married, and how bad your wife is compared to your other homies, what type of car you drive, what your house looks like, your shoe game, your jewelry game, who got more bottles in the bar and in the spot, whatever it may be. Ultra competitive dudes are ultra competitive about everything. Here's where things go wrong sometimes. When you're sensitive. When you're a sensitive dude that is ultra competitive and you find yourself caught up in a debate or a conversation, which this is what this classically sounds like, is there was a debate. Could have been the barbershop, could have been at the crib, could have been in front of the pool, could have been at the hotel, the casino, could have been anywhere, could have been all of the above. When a dude is ultra competitive and they compete at the level that a Davante Adams competes at, the one thing you never want is for someone to try to qualify your greatness.
So somebody had a conversation with him before this interview with the Ringer, and he carried that conversation.
He carried
that energy into the interview.
He carried that energy. He not only carried that energy, but he might have wanted to do the interview because this might have been more than a one-time conversation. Like, y'all gonna stop disrespecting my name like that. I'm telling you, because I might have been classically been a part of a couple of these types of conversations in my life. Like, that's what I'm saying. I can sympathize with him. Like, it almost sounds like he was agitated into saying this. He was prompted into saying this. This was not unsolicited. It may come across as unsolicited to the listening and viewing public of what the article presented. But this is something that's been provoked. He's been provoked into feeling the way that he responded to in that interview. There you go.
I buy it.
I mean, that's that to me.
Round of applause.
Thank
that
you.
was fantastic.
Thank you. Because the one thing that people you care about can do, the one thing they can do that is better than anyone else is agitate and irritate and provoke. That's the one thing. People outside of my circle that I don't know, you can't upset me. You can't get me off my square. You can't get me emotional. But the people I do care about, the sensitivity, like, it's the worst. Like, imagine your son being like, Dad, if you ain't have Aaron Rodgers, you know you wouldn't be that dude. Like, what? Child, let's go take a walk. Let's go take a walk. Let's go sit in this film room. Let me show you what your dad did. Let me show you what your dad is doing. What do you mean I need Aaron Rodgers, child? Or if it's your homies, like, you know you wouldn't be that dude if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers throwing you that ball. Like, when people you love and you respect and you care about that you want to have all of that credit for. I want all the credit. I want all that credit. And you don't give me that credit and you give it to somebody else, it'll upset you. Sensitive thugs need hugs, you know, as my man Fred Smoot would say.
Sensitive thugs need hugs.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, that works.
There you go.
Because otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Otherwise it just doesn't really make any sense at all.
Because Rodgers has been nothing but publicly supportive about how great Davante Adams has been. And out of nowhere on the Ringer, he's just sitting there minding his own business, and Davante Adams takes a couple digs. So, yeah, it's fun.